Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
I can't say that Monday is my favorite day of the week, but that being said, seems like a good a day as any to broadcast live on YouTube. Go ahead and check a couple more settings here. Verify that we are actually live, and assuming that YouTube does everything that they should be doing, that would be broadcasting what it is that I'm sharing with you right now out to the web, then we'll be okay. So the way that I have to check it is not just by looking at my own console that says everything's fine on my end. I actually have to look at a browser window wherein I'm not logged in. And it seems that I'm moving around in that browser window, therefore, we're live. So welcome to yet another episode of TLDR, the Locker Gnome Daily Report, also short for Too Long Didn't Read. See, we did not let the geeky humor escape us. I did broadcast, by the way, over the weekend, if you didn't catch that, on Friday night, not long after we wrapped up TLDR, I found out that I have the ability to broadcast live Hangouts on Google+. And so I did that briefly, and we may do that again. I recorded it, as a matter of fact. So if you're interested in Google+ Hangouts and what is coming down the pipe for you, if you wanted to broadcast through Google+ live to your followers there or your circlers, we did an interview with one of the leaders, or development leads for Google+ Hangouts. Already uploaded that to the YouTube channel this weekend. Let me go ahead, and as I'm saying hello to everybody, including to S4MTW, hi Chris, he says, hi. Seat Will Hawker, hi. Mr. Daniel Price 1, hi. Steve K 1993, hi. Apple Advice, hi. I'm glad everybody's saying hello. You're really helping me keep energy flowing in a positive direction, and hopefully everyone enjoys the time that they spend with me live, during the live broadcast, and then, of course, after it's been encoded and uploaded to YouTube. So we've got a QR code here, as we do in just about every video. That's an easy way for me to track where everybody is viewing from, and, more importantly, what mobile device you're using. Let's see if we have more Android users or iPhone users in the audience today. There's a huge battle between you two every time that we put it out there, and I'm happy to be able to do that. So let's go ahead and get the ball rolling on Twitter. I tweeted it out, so now everybody who's following me there will know that we're broadcasting live. Let's go ahead and share that on Facebook, facebook.com/Chris Pirillo, of course, at Chris Pirillo on Twitter. And I'm going to go ahead and +1 this publicly on Google+, because I've got like 250,000 people who have circled me there, which is a lot. And I'm going to go ahead and +1, add a little comment to it, post it to my public circles, share it, and now everybody would have no excuse to say, oh, I didn't know you were broadcasting. Did that make any sense, right? You couldn't say that you didn't know because I shared it everywhere. And you know that we do this every single weekday right around this time, 3 p.m. Pacific. And generally, the agenda is what we've posted on lockergnome.com or anything that might have happened over the past day that I find somewhat interesting and I want to wax pathetic about. You may have caught the video that we also uploaded yesterday where I was presenting to a very large group of high school students. I think 10,000 views since yesterday and approximately 650 likes on that video. I was shocked at just how much you liked the video. I don't know why you liked the video, because it's really no different than what we do normally, other than me being in front of an audience and having fun with that. So hopefully you liked this video as well. Thank you for any likes that you pass our direction, any retweets, any shares, including backlinks. In fact, we got a nice little backlink of the day. It was over the weekend, so I guess it wouldn't be of the day today. WPCentral.com, a big part of the Windows community at this point in time, linked back to not just our video, but also the article that we wrote corresponding with the video, talking about Metro UI, specifically that's Microsoft's new user interface paradigm. And I actually am a huge fan of Metro, as I said in the video and as was outlined in the article. They link back to us, and so the backlink of the day goes to WPCentral.com if you want to be considered as the backlink of the day, possibly get your website mentioned. All you need to do is link to lockergnome.com. It's really not that hard to do if you have a website or you're in social media or you do anything online. We thrive on backlinks and the souls of dead puppies. But we prefer backlinks, of course. That's just a natural thing. I also have to thank, before I get too far along, those of you who have gifted me on my Amazon wishlist, go.tagjag.com/wishlist. I have never owned a gold Lego brick before. Of course, it's not real gold. It's just painted gold. And Troy Rudder sent me this ornament by way of that wish list with gold bricks inside. And it's already been opened, but I'm not going to open it now. Everything would spill everywhere. But look at those. I've got gold bricks. Sorry, I'm a huge Lego addict. And Randy Gage also did me a favor by gifting the Agents 2.0 Robo Attack with like so many minifigs. I was so happy to get this. I love minifigs. I'm a huge fan. So thank you for making my wishes come true and appreciating the things that we do for you when I create this content and we do things on Locker Gnome by gifting me something on the wish list. It just makes me happy. It really does. It genuinely does. Not to say that everything you do now doesn't make me happy, but Legos really make me happy. I'm a geek. Some of us has been doing this. Some of us have been loving Lego longer than it appeared on The Big Bang Theory. Apparently, Sheldon built the Death Star. Did that like 2 years ago. Hello, keep up. Legos are for everybody. Or I should say, Lego is for everybody. Lego bricks. There's no such thing as Legos. Lego bricks or Lego. I caught myself saying it too. Gosh. Now you can say that I'm not perfect. Of course, we all knew that I wasn't perfect. So now that we got that general geekiness out of the way and some brief updates, hopefully y'all are keeping up, and it looks like this is the best quote ever from Chris from your conference. Success isn't about making a lot of money, it's what you make it, says Latin Legacy. So someone watched the video, at least one of you. Chris, you legend, says Mr. Explosive Minecraft. I don't know. I used to be a legend, then I took an arrow in the knee. If you are not already subscribed to the Locker Gnome email newsletter, I don't really know what you're waiting for. We're sending information out every single day, and sometimes we send out special information that we don't publish anywhere else. You may have caught that we're giving away a notebook computer this month. We try to give something away every month, but not only are we giving away a notebook computer, but also a digital camera. This digital camera specifically, well, not this one specifically, this one generally, the model. Sony sent this for me to review, and they're offering one for my audience as well. It's the DSC WX9. It's a point-and-shoot camera, 16.2 megapixels. It records 1080p video, has optical image stabilization, and again, for a point-and-shoot camera, it takes pretty darn good pictures, and that's what you want a digital camera to do, is take pretty darn good pictures. The thing I like most about this particular implementation of, I guess, digital camera-ness, they've got a new mode, shoot sharp image reducing blur, shoot a sharp image with reducing blur and basically noise. And so that's a new setting. It's easy to use. It's kind of like a gold icon with a plus sign there. Sorry, I'm pointing at it and you couldn't necessarily see it. And I love that setting because reducing noise and blur is something that I appreciate when I'm taking pictures. And sometimes I can't get the right picture with my phone, and I don't always have my DSLR on me, the one that I've talked about briefly in earlier videos. The Canon T3i is currently what I'm carrying around for that. Sometimes you want a good picture with a good lens and a good digital camera. And so having something like a point and shoot, a dedicated point and shoot, there's still something to be said about this. I wouldn't say that these cameras, or the camera phones, these smartphones with cameras attached, are as good as point and shoots today, but at some point in the future, I think we'll have optics that are just as good on an iPhone or an Android device, or well, any smartphone or camera phone, as we see in today's point-and-shoot cameras. Pretty affordable, but if you want this, or this model, we are offering one to one of you. All you have to do to qualify for the giveaway, just like we do every other giveaway, is subscribe to the Locker Gnome email newsletter. That's it. We make it so simple for you to do. You click a link. You subscribe. That's it. You got to make sure your email address is validated and everything. We don't believe in spamming, never have. We've been doing it since 1996. Seriously, with 200,000 subscribers on YouTube, 250,000 on Google+, 100,000 on Twitter, and we've got even more information for you that's kind of geeky in general on lockergnome.com. And if you want a quick way to subscribe to the newsletter, you could use your smartphone, your camera phone. This is one thing a point-and-shoot camera can't do yet, because it's not really smart, is scan the QR code that you see in this video or other videos. This particular QR code down here, it looks at what has been described like a robot puke. You scan it. This will take you directly to a mobile-optimized page for you to subscribe to the email newsletter. It's really, really simple to do, and really, you can benefit from getting new knowledge every single weekday. And beyond that, this giveaway thing, I think it's got legs. You want a new computer? This may be an easy way of doing it. You want a new digital camera? This may be an easy way of doing it. This month. Next month, what are we giving away? I don't know. The easiest way to find out is to subscribe. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe. Oh, we'll pick one of you out at random. That's, by the way, that's all you have to do. Subscribe. One of you at random. That's it. Okay, now I'm done. Really. Almost forgot about that. Then I saw Billy Rowe 0064 says, Chris, how do we submit into the contest? How do you know we want the camera? Dude, like, if we drew anybody's name out and said, hey, do you want this digital camera? I don't think anybody is going to sit there and say, no, I don't want a digital camera. Unless they're, like, really, really, really stupid. Okay, not that you would be stupid to not want a digital camera, but who wouldn't? Here, do you want this? No, I'm good. I don't need it. I'm fine. My memory's just great. It's fine. Bill Fund says, good afternoon, Mr. Pirillo. Oh, so formal. I remember you from the defunct TechTV days before it was replaced by G4. I know you had just about worked your fingers to the nubs. And I'm just making sure I still have my fingers here. And I appreciate what you do for us, providing your opinions and insight on anything tech and also non-tech. Thank you, Bill Fund. It is true. People ask what happened to TechTV all the time, and here's the way I explain it. I'm still around. They're not. What's the difference between RSS and email from Locker Gnome? Email, we add a bit more personalization to it. We kind of have fun with the stories. RSS is just kind of shoot straight from the hip. This is the lead into the article and the link. So you can subscribe to the RSS feed or the email newsletter. Either way, we'd be happy with you. But we do prefer email subscribers for a lot of different reasons. Email is just a much more. Boy, I'm just tripping over my words today. At least I have the ability to correct myself as I move along. Maybe I need more tea. All right, so now that I mentioned that giveaway is happening, I want to make sure I said that. Let's go ahead and dive into one of the articles on lockergnome.com that was published over the past couple of days. I am a stickler for detail. I believe that if you're going to do it to the best of your ability. And there are times that sometimes you just got to do it to get it done and get it out there. But then when you go back and refine it, well, then you take more time, you pay attention to some of the finer points that may have slipped your attention when you initially released something or did one thing or another that could be corrected. The beautiful thing about the internet is that you can change anything at a moment's notice, and everything could possibly change based on the things that you do. So there was an article that we had written this weekend on lockergnome.com that was talking specifically about user experience. It's also known as UX for short. This is not to be confused with UI. User interface, the way something looks, is not user experience, or like a workflow, or the way something works. Two completely separate things. Now, the delta between the two, that's the sweet spot. A beautiful UI and a beautiful UX. If you have a website, and your goal of that website is to sell widgets, and you put the website up and no one's buying the widgets, is it because people aren't coming to the website? Well, no, maybe you have a lot of traffic, but they're not buying. Well, why are they not buying? Could it be that you have a poor UI? Well, it could be. Maybe the website looks like it was designed in front page back in 1999. It may very well have been, in which case I would tell you, update the website's design. Or it could be that when a visitor visits your webpage, as opposed to a visitor doing something else, they may not understand what it is you want them to do. There may be a very, very poor user experience. And it's very rare that I feature or even pay attention to something that has a poor user experience, in my estimation. If I know what I'm trying to do and the website doesn't make it easy to do, I get frustrated. So for years, mobile devices, I believe, were plagued by not just horrible UI, but horrible UX. If it takes you 14 clicks to do something, that's bad UX. It should, if you know it should only take you like one click and be done with it, that's a good UX. It's a good user experience. And this is something you should be thinking about if you have a product, a service, any kind of presence on the web, if you design software, even if you don't do any of that, if you use software or if you use hardware and you find yourself frustrated because it's not doing exactly the way, it's not doing things the way you expect them to do things, whatever it is, piece of hardware, piece of software, and you know that it should be easier and you get frustrated. I'm getting so frustrated I can't even finish the sentence. That is the hallmark of a bad UX, a bad user experience. If you go back to somebody and says you're using it wrong, they may not be using it wrong. The person who put it together, who designed it, who assembled it, may have done it not as well as they could have done it. Bad UX. Never blame the user for a bad user experience. That's not the fault of the person who you're trying to get to do something. If they can't do what it is they want to do, you've probably hit this before. You've downloaded an application that says, this application will do this, and you keep trying to do it, and it doesn't work. Or you have to jump through like 13 different steps that make no sense. Why can't I just press a button and have it work? That's bad UX. Those are things not worth talking about. This is why very rarely do I bring up an application that I believe has a poor UX or UI. Very rarely do I talk about gadgets and gizmos because so many of them have such a poor user experience that overrides any benefits that those products may be trying to deliver us, the user. So keep that in mind. If you want a further definition of user experience, our take on it, because believe me, we go into the details. This is just kind of a high-level overview, just pointing you to this greater in-depth article. It's something that even users should consider, because if you look at a product and it's got promise, you could tell the person who put it together, the team that put it together, what they can do better, because that will make it a better product for you and potentially everybody else. Always, always, always put user experience at the forefront, because that's what you want to do, right? Use. I have no problem saying I'm a user. I use it. Hopefully I don't abuse it. But we have more information on lockergnome.com. Pretty easy. I've always wanted to do this. I don't know why you would want to do this, or that. I don't know. It's kind of... I was reading a comment here in the live YouTube chat box, if you can call it that. Pirillo says Zettabyte99. Yes, that is my last name, although it's usually capitalized in the front. You can use lowercase if you want, if you're E.E. Cummings. See if we got any other comments. Oh, yay, we got a lot of likes, I think, right? We have likes? We do? Did we get likes? I can't really see. Maybe I need to hit refresh. Oh, 60? We got 60 likes? Thank you. That gets the day rolling quite well, even though I'm pretty much ready? Am I just making up words today? I really don't know where it's coming from. People say that iOS is a better user experience than Android, but I believe that's down to which one you've had the most experience from, says the Fizz23. That is true, although Android is easier to use in some respects. It isn't in others. I think it takes a few extra steps to do certain things on either operating system, but I wouldn't say that makes one worse than the other. It does depend on what you kind of get used to, but that doesn't mean that there's not a better way. There may be a better way to do things. C. Pirillo? No, not really. It's chris.pirillo.com. That's what you're looking for. Let's see here. Did someone get the E.E. Cummings reference? Where's the like button for live videos? It's right there. The little thumbs up. Do you not see the thumbs up? It's gigantic. That thumbs up button on YouTube is bigger than my head. All right. I got a fun one for you now. Give me a second. I gotta get it prepped. You guys are gonna love this. You're loving it. I know you're gonna love it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to start the video staring at my phone, but I'm reading the text messages that have come in from a new service that is kind of just come into being here in the Seattle area. Available pretty much anywhere, though. Fara now, and I don't know if you've heard of this yet, but if you just listen to how I explain it, I think you'll understand how this may fit into your world. I buy things online all the time. Sometimes I buy, on this website, sometimes I buy on another website, but inevitably, when I buy a product, it is shipped to me. That's usually what happens in the transaction. And then I need to track it. And the problem with tracking anything is that it can be a pain. I got to visit 3 different websites, or I got to use that widget or this widget. I just wanted to get to all of my shipping information, like from a very convenient Fara Now. And this happened to be, I guess, not really started by a friend of mine, Leo, but he told me about it. I'm like, dang, dude, that's really cool. And so I've been using it as I've been tracking packages, specifically during this holiday season, but you could use it year-round. And I basically have it set up so it'll text me. It'll also email me updates. All I need to do, this is the best part, is forward one of those orders to the Fara Now service for free. And what it'll do is it'll automatically pull out the tracking code from that email. I don't have to type anything in. I just forward the email. And then I find out when it's out for delivery and when it's been delivered. All I need is a tracking number from any one of the popular tracking services, pretty much any one of the vendors that you might buy through online, or not even online. You could buy, something and have it shipped somewhere else. That's still going to have a tracking number. So you can use the website. They've got an iPhone app. You can use the website, of course, on your smartphone if you want, the SMS or the text messages, and then, of course, email. And it's a nice way of really kind of bringing everything together into one spot. And even if you're not ordering things now, you may think about ordering something in the future, and then you would want to use a service like this. And here's really why you would be interested in it today, because there's an opportunity for one of you, or possibly even 2 of you, to get a Kindle Fire. This is a giveaway that we're doing in conjunction with these guys. And when he said, hey, we're giving other Kindle Fires away, but do you want one specifically for your audience? I said, yeah, because I've got a nice audience with Locker Gnome. So what you got to do is you forward one of those emails, or an email that includes a tracking number for a package that you're shipped, to a specific email address. This is how they know it's the Locker Gnome audience. Track with Chris at faranow.com. Now, if you want, look at the article that we've linked in the description, or somewhere where this video should be sitting, should be the link to that. And then you've got the exact email address. And then once you've forwarded that email, that tracking email, to track with Chris at faranow.com. Again, you got to make sure you spell it right. Also, the details are specifically in the article that we wrote up about Fara Now, describing it further. Then all you have to make sure to do is subscribe to the Locker Gnome newsletter. Forward an email to this free account to track your package, and then subscribe to the Locker Gnome email newsletter. And then we're going to pick one of those emails out at random and say, guess what, dude? You're going to get a Kindle Fire. I don't think there's an easier way to get a Kindle Fire today. Well, there's probably an easier way, but in terms of an easier way without spending any money and getting some benefit out of it, a benefit of finally having a nice place to track all of your shipments, as well as getting the Locker Gnome email newsletter, which you should be subscribed to already. At least I'd hope you were. Okay, maybe you just want a Kindle Fire. Maybe that's all you want. In which case, I'm very happy to bring this to you and let you know that Fara Now is the business that is responsible for making all this possible. And they're looking for feedback, by the way. So take a look at the website, after you've tried it. And if you have any suggestions for improvement, they are absolutely looking for feedback. So there you go. And just to repeat, and it looks like our Barry Sass is keying it in for everybody who hasn't found it yet. Track with Chris at faranow.com. And then make sure you're subscribed to the Locker Gnome email newsletter as well. And then you'll qualify. That's really all you got to do. So what are you waiting for? Start tracking. Can you enter from the UK? Terrible broadcast. Don't quote me on this. Leave a comment on the blog post, and I'll have Leo get back to you, buddy. That's all. Seriously, I don't know the specifics on that. I'd imagine, but I don't want to say one way or another because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I'm subscribed, not for the Kindle Fire. Thank you, TechnoGuy720. I appreciate your support. You have no idea. You really have no idea how much I appreciate your support. Where's the subscribe button? What do you mean, where's this? It's in the sidebar right now. Or you can click the link. Or you can scan this particular QR code. There's like a billion ways to subscribe to the Locker Gnome email newsletter. There's a lot of ways. What website do you get all your tech stuff? Ninja Mexican 12. he really... Does anybody else want to answer that question? I'll let one of y'all answer the question. What do I think about the upcoming law of censoring the internet? SOPA, I think, says AFO Alves Labs 100. I couldn't quite catch the username. I've done a video on it already. I tell you, I remind everybody of this every single day. I can't talk about the same things every day. This is what happens when I talk about the same things every day. Those are Tix clocks. I got the chair years ago. I don't care. You can buy either a Mac or a PC. The video would be the same thing every single day. Here's a trick. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Go to Google or YouTube and do a keyword search and include the word Pirillo or locker gnome. And you'll find the information that I've already provided. It's insane. It's great, though. That's all you got to do. I've been subscribed since I've seen your channel, says Tutorial 144. Thank you. Chris, you're going to write an updated book including social media, Morris 100. I don't know. I think we're going to provide all that information, specifically to those who subscribe to our forthcoming Nomies service, providing targeted help specifically for those who buy into a subscription. All right. Chris, do you know when the Kindle Fire comes in the UK? Asks 912 Doctor Who. I do not know. However, you can wait. They need to update the software big time. As a child, my options for education were somewhat limited. Homeschooling wasn't a true option for us, and certainly the community has grown since that time. I grew up in a Catholic environment and went to a Catholic school. Could have gone to a public school too, but the options still were extremely, extremely limited. I do not think I regret having grown up there. I don't regret how I grew up, but I wish I had different options for education as a child. I wish I had things like the internet and YouTube. In many ways, and I wouldn't be shocked to find this out if there are schools out there, potentially those who homeschool their children, who use our videos as teaching devices. And we wrote an article, really, as one of us was doing research on lockergnome.com about magnet schools. Now, I don't know if you've heard of magnet schools before, and I'm only the parent to a couple of dogs. They need obedience schools, but that's about it. Lord knows I probably needed obedience schools when I was growing up as well. The idea of a magnet school is that there are certainly longer hours, like school time, and a magnet school is usually geared towards one discipline or another, one topic or another. And if I would have had the option for a magnet school that dealt with emerging trends in electronics and computing and technology in general, back when I was old enough to know that I was a geek, and that was probably around the 5th grade. That's the time I remember distinctly drawing keys at the top of my paper, backspace. Like, why don't I have a delete key on my paper? I remember drawing that. I'm not kidding. It was kind of pathetic now that I think about it. But this is something that if I had gone to a magnet school, I would probably have had a completely different career path. That's why I can't regret how I grew up. But the idea of a magnet school, I think, is certainly attractive to me if and when I ever have my own children, and they have a penchant for one thing or another, whatever it happens to be. And, I would hope that, my kid, either a girl or a boy, would want to follow their father's footsteps and be an entertainer and provide information and love technology and be a geek. It may not be the case. They may want a completely different life for themselves. And if their passions for one thing is so strong, or passions are so strong, I ended up being an English major, and you see how far I got with that last sentence that I tried to trip through. I corrected myself, though, before I finished it with a period at the end of the sentence, even though this is more of a run-on than anything. ... That's an ellipsis, by the way. The ... is the idea that you could encourage kids to go one direction or another and help bolster their love for one thing or many things in life. It's just outstanding. And I think I'd ask this question of the audience, because I know I've got a very mixed audience in terms of ages. If you've already gone through school, would you have preferred to go to a magnet school that had been focused on your discipline? Or would you, if you're in school now, would you want to go to a magnet school? Would you kill to go to a magnet school about technology? Maybe not kill, somebody or anything. Maybe kill a blade of grass or something. What would you do if you had the choice to go to a magnet school? Is this something that you would embrace, or do you admonish the idea of doing this? Some people say, no, public school is just fine. No, private school this way. No, magnet school. Everyone's got, their own way of thinking, and that's fine. It's just another option for that, really. And that's something that when I say option for that, education, is something that you should consider. Because if you are currently still in school and you're not having a good time, possibly go another direction with that. I changed high schools. I went to a high school 1 year. I didn't like it as a freshman and switched high schools, and then loved the high school that I graduated from way back in the day. So, it's okay to possibly shift your direction, and magnet schools may be an option for you. We've listed out a few logical points from our perspective and why we believe that magnet schools are a viable option. Certainly interested in the feedback from the rest of the community, if especially you're in education and that is your career choice. That was my career path. It just ended up not working out. I'm now doing videos on YouTube that I believe, despite what some person just commented a couple seconds ago, I think are entertaining. And if I can entertain myself, that's all that matters. I don't know, someone was asking about the podcast, why it's not working in iTunes. Could you email, if you're having a problem loading our podcast in iTunes, and I tweeted a link to it earlier and then also posted it on Facebook, email the error message or what you see to team@lockergnome.com and we'll get right on it. team@lockergnome.com. I would probably go to a magnet school, so no PE and jackasses, says 912 Doctor Who. Only 3 views? It's live, dude. Trust me, there are more than 3. There are at least 130 of you in this audience right now. Thank you for liking the video. That's how I know there are at least 130 of you liking the video right now, so I know there's that many of you. Let's see what the QR code usage is. Doesn't look like... we have more iPhone users than Android users in the audience as of right now. That's how many people have scanned the QR code in the video to this point. Let's see here. Let's move along. The next one. Game theory versus decision theory. We all have theories. My theory is that you actually like the videos that I record and that we upload to YouTube. Could be a bad theory. You may prove me wrong with likes or dislikes. But there are 2 types of theory that are often confused with one another: game theory and decision theory. And we've written an article really outlining the differences between the 2. But, I wanted to take a moment to really talk about the decision-making process and what goes through your mind. I really want to know. And let's just... Oh, that was the doorbell. So now I have to decide whether or not I'm going to get up from doing this video to stop the dogs from barking and answer the door or continue. Boy, that was... I swear I didn't time that. My decision is I'm going to stay right here. What decision process do you go through when you're going to buy a gadget? I'm reining it in. Or when you're going to buy a piece of software. What goes through your mind before you do it, so that when you do it, you're not going to have buyer's remorse? So there's my general question in relation to your decision-making process. It's somewhat associated with decision theory in a very loose construct. But I am curious to know, and I'm going to go ahead and read some of the comments that I see as we're broadcasting this video out live on YouTube. The way that I go through my decision-making process, I have to decide, ultimately, what my goal is. And Is that goal very, very important? It is. Therefore, I need to do whatever it is I need to do to make sure that goal is accomplished. And, beyond that, it's less important. Beyond the idea of needing to accomplish a goal. So sometimes I need to take pictures. Therefore, I need something that can take pictures. And if I don't happen to have something that takes pictures, then I need to get something new. Well, how do I know I need something new? There's a lot of options out there. Well, what are my favorite features about a product? This is why, by the way, it is impossible to answer the question of which computer is better, which game is better, because everyone makes a different decision. Everybody has different wants, needs, or desires. You may like a digital camera because it has, no flip-out LCD screen. I want a digital camera that has a flip-out LCD screen because I want that, because I can pivot it in any direction and still see what's on the screen instead of always having to be straight at the screen or looking straight at the screen that really doesn't move. Different decision process that I go through, but analyzing and thinking about what it is that you want most in the pain point that you have to hit before it's time to make that decision. Everybody has a different way of this process. My dad, he still watches my YouTube videos. I don't know if he's going to watch this one, but he's thinking about getting an Xbox 360. And he wasn't sure. He sees a lot of specials going on right now, and that's cool. But he's asking, which one should I get? And I asked him, I said, well, what would you use it for? He really couldn't answer the question. And then I said, then why are you getting it? I mean, he has a broadband connection, but would he really use all the media options on the Xbox 360? No more than he would on a PS3. It's not that the PS3 is a better option for him. He may not be the person that would want to get a gaming console, or what has been seen traditionally as a gaming console, what will eventually evolve into a media console. That's my, it's been my opinion for a number of years, and Microsoft has only proven me right with as much as media as they've integrated, specifically with the new dashboard software releases. So it may take him a year to make up his mind of whether he wants an Xbox. I can tell him right now he's not the market for it. That's not that I don't like the Xbox. I have several Xboxes in my home. I happen to love the Xbox. I love the PS3. I love the Wii. They're not mutually exclusive. Each one of them works well for what they need to do and what they do. But coming to a decision is different for every single one of us. I want to know what it takes for you to come to a decision. Moros 100 says, put it in my cart. Then I decide if I need to accomplish anything. I will weed out the things that I don't need to accomplish anything. If I'm going to buy that book, for instance, this is the example he uses, what will I use it for? If I buy that game, will I use, play, or enjoy it? Things you got to think about. It's not just about owning something or having something. What decision process do you go through? Another question some people are picking up on, do you buy a product because of its brand? Asks New Blue Geek. I absolutely do not. I don't believe that. And some people disagree with me. They ask me, well, how much money is Apple paying you? As much money as Google is for promoting Chrome, or Microsoft is for promoting the Xbox. Squat! When you go to buy a product, anything, what is your process? What do you go through that is foolproof for you? Everyone's going to have a different perspective, and I think we can all benefit from learning the decision-making process that every one of us has to go through. So you know what you do. Leave a comment here, read the article, leave a comment there, and we'll share our ideas and potentially come up with a better decision-making process. Or at least that's my theory. Okay, let's go there. Magnet Schools, close that. Sorry, I'm talking to myself as I'm live producing everything. Different brands have different reliability. Generally, sometimes it varies product to product. Will it be of any use or will it collect dust? Things like that, says Striker 350. True that. I normally want something, but then I find something else and I don't want it anymore. Hopefully you didn't buy it after or before. You buy a product to suit your needs. If it works, then that's all that matters. True. But how do you know one product's not better than another? How do you go through that decision-making process? Chris, are you doing a Google Plus Hangout today? Asked Noy Hillel. I don't know yet. There's a lot going on. So I don't know if I'll do a Hangout. It depends. Maybe if we get 300 likes, I'll do a Google Plus Hangout for this video. I don't know. Chris, did you get your gift? which gift is it that I should be getting. I got a Mace Windu today, and I got a one of the Atlantis minifigs as well. Were those the things? So yes, I think Terrible Broadcast, did you send me the Mace Windu? Thank you for doing that on the Amazon.com wish list. It's the easiest way to keep track of the things that I want, that I've decided, well, do I want this or not? How much is it worth? Okay. As I've mentioned so many times before, I've been doing social media for a lot longer than it's been a term. And now that term is synonymous with sites like Twitter. I guess you could call it services, really. Facebook, Google+, platforms that allow us to be social with one another. Blogging, to a certain degree, is social media. I can put my thoughts out there. You can comment on the thoughts that I put out there. Like you could comment on the blog post that we wrote about 10 tips to better promote your social media profiles. So, if you have tips that you'd like to share, you could share them here, of course, in the comments thread, whether you're on the page that's talking about social media, or maybe I'm embedded on another website, and you could comment there and be social and engage the person who's put this article together, or even comment in the video itself. The idea behind social media is that you can be interactive, and we are no longer in a society that sits in front of a TV set or a radio or in a book and doesn't interact with the information that's being provided. We are social creatures, inherently social. We need each other to thrive. So even if let me put it this way. If you're watching this video, you probably have a YouTube account. That's social media. If you use Google, you have access to a Google Plus account. And with that, you could be social. You could +1 this video. You could share this video on Facebook. You could share it on Twitter. And you can share the things that you love and the things that you appreciate. You can also tell the world what you don't happen to love at the time that you don't happen to love it. It's okay not to like things. Just don't be a dick about it. Have you heard that song yet? Saw that someone did a video on YouTube. It's kind of silly, but it makes sense. Social media is really for everybody, and even businesses as well. In terms of what you can do to promote your social media profiles, there are many, 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 many ways. And we've outlined 10 solid tips for you in the article, but I'm just going to give you a few from and they may be different from what's on the article, so don't think that this is it. Okay, you want to look at the article. And if you have any other tips that we don't share, you might want to share them with everybody else because they may be good tips too. See, we don't know everything. I never promise that I know everything, ever. Because it would be wrong. Nobody knows everything. Nobody. So the things that you wouldn't want to do is spam. That's generally bad. It's stupid. It really is. You may leave a comment on somebody else's social media post, and if it's irrelevant, by and large, or certainly off topic, that's spam. No one likes that. No one really. Who clicks those links? Do you? I don't. I can't stand that. That's one way not to promote your social media profile. The best way that you could possibly do it is interact with other people. I mean, don't expect that people are going to come just to you. Interact with them. Comment back to them. Tweet the things that they say. Get to know the things they love, and they may be the same things that you love. And suddenly, you're generating interest. And then as soon as you come on their radar, see, you're now on their radar, and then you do something over here, they may pick up on that and share it. You see how that works? So that's one way of promoting, because you can go to these people. It doesn't matter how big or how small their following might be. It doesn't matter. People are people, period. Big or small, they're still people. Okay? We're all influential. Whether we have 2 followers or 20,000, it doesn't matter. Social media is not about the numbers, people. It's about people. I was saying that about the internet back in the day. Been doing this a long while. Another thing you might consider doing is cross-promoting. So if I'm on Facebook and I share something, it may be a post that I had on Google Plus that had a good comment thread. So the cross-promotion of social media content is relevant. I'm sitting here talking about social media in a video on YouTube. And I may say, hey, I just tweeted the other day that I thought Company X had really bad customer service. You can follow me on Twitter at Chris Pirillo. Oh, I shared a photo on Facebook of a new Lego set that I got at half off at facebook.com/Chris Pirillo. I just +1'd this. Therefore, it's on my Google Plus profile, and you can circle me over on Google. Cross promotion, man. When you keep YouTube on its own, it works, and it works well, but there's stuff that happens beyond YouTube. That cross promotion of social media channels is the best way, honestly, to get attention from one to the other. Because you should exist on Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus, YouTube. Every one of these leading tools that are at your disposal, you should absolutely be there. Absolutely. And I've got a note here, because this is a comment that just came in through the live YouTube broadcast here. Tech Lolly asks, what is the goal of using social media personally? Well, there are things that you love, right? There are things you love sharing. There are things you love digesting. Even if you share nothing and you just subscribe to other people's feeds, you can make your own world based on the information that you subscribe to. And they're going to be sharing this information on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, and beyond. So that's personal. It has nothing to do with professional goals. It Wins Web Show 1 asks, how do you sync all social media accounts? I don't. I really, really don't. Nothing is synced. I use Twitter, Facebook, Google+, YouTube. They're all really independent. I may share things between each other, and I may share the same things between one platform and another. But syncing them and doing the same thing in each spot, well, each site was really designed to do something different. Google Plus is not Facebook, is definitely not Twitter, is definitely not YouTube. They're all different tools. So, if you're not realizing that you could be making an impact in social media, you should. And you should certainly realize that you could be getting information from other people, even if you don't want to use it. And I think, there are, like I said, plenty of other tips on how to promote social media. But if you are not thinking of it as this one large circle and cross-promoting between all of them, you're kind of, I'm not saying you're wasting resources, but you should be doing that. I'd absolutely encourage doing that, living everywhere. And even if you don't like Twitter, what about the people who might like you? They might like Twitter and the things that you have to share. I'm saying social media is not just about me. It's about you too. It's called time consuming. Yes, it is. I never said it was easy. Chris, what do you think? Have one person in Portugal that follow you every time is possible? What do I think about what? I don't know if there was a question in there. Kind of weird there. Do you recommend posting the same article multiple times a day and or a week? Asks the beta Jake. I actually would, because someone may not be paying attention at the time that you tweet it. I post article links several times. Very rarely does someone see the same article link pop up in their feed. Very rarely. It's amazing how we evolved from the independent TV to the socializing over the internet. That is true. How do you remove vocals from a song using Audacity? Well, we don't need to do that as an article, because that's actually going to be linked back to the popular YouTube video, Chris. We did a video a while ago about how to remove vocals from a song using Audacity, and now we've written a corresponding article for it. For more information, I guess it's a very popular, very, very popular post or video on YouTube, like 400,000, 500,000 views. Portugal, yes. Cool Afro. Are you talking about me? Dude, I just got my hair cut. I already answered questions about SOPA. Let's see here. What's Windows 8 like? Well, it's one better than 7. In theory. What do you think about iTunes Match? Asks Chris Daisley 100. I don't use it, but I'm not the person who would necessarily need to be using it. Let's see here. Rolling along. Audacity. So the funny thing is, I think Terrible Broadcast has been reading ahead, because they're asking about the Ludum Dare competition. That's so funny. Do you find yourself with a lot of free time on your hands? Are you someone who enjoys gaming, possibly even creating gaming? And, not creating gaming, creating games or environments in which people might game. You might be interested in something called the Ludum Dare competition. And this is kind of insane. I learned about it this weekend. We'd written an article on lockergnome.com about what this is. And you can read more about it in depth and why you might want to check it out if you are into gaming at all. On lockergnome.com, we've linked in the description. But as we write, this is a direct quote, it's a competition to develop a game in 48 hours that follows a given theme. So basically, you can create something new every weekend or be a part of creating something new, a game every single weekend. And even if you're someone who can't create a game, you can play the games that are created in the Ludum Dare competition. Kind of fun. Why settle for the games that other people are pushing in your face? Why not be a part of creating a game or enjoying games that you know were just created? They still have the new game smell. Jesselego Boy says, I want to create games. This is a good chance to get your feet wet with the rest of the community, at least the Ludum Dare community, or the Ludum Dare. I'm not trying to emphasize one word or the other. Let's see here. I'm reading here. This is interesting. I'm looking at the YouTube comments as they're coming in live during this video. This damn Scotsman says Notch, or Marcus Persson, made Minecraft in 48 hours. Minecraft. It clear, like, how many millions of dollars Minecraft has made in a year? Insane. Over 48. That's all you need. That's all you need. And you could be creating the next huge sensation, or at least the beginnings of it. I think the idea is genius. I love these types of events, these hackathons of sorts. So check it out. Eddie Ringel brought it to my attention, or our attention, wrote a full-length article about what this is and why it's important, I think, for the larger gaming community. This, to me, I'll say it, I think this is the future of games. Creating something in 48 hours time and turning it around. Why not? I mean, we've got all these game options out there. Some of them are free, some of them are 99 cents, some of them are $50. I think the day and age of the $50 video game it's quickly going to be appearing in the rearview mirror. And there are a lot of ways that we can play. And it isn't necessarily through large game companies anymore. You could be the next big, small game developer. The Ludum Dare competition, I dare you to take part in the next one. And if you do, let me know. I'd be interested in seeing what you guys have created. You know, my email address is chris@pirillo.com. I'd also be interested in possibly writing if you've had any experiences directly. It's a good way to kind of keep the words are escaping me at the moment. I was trying to say your wits sharp, and apparently that was ironic. Chris, I think you mean Minecraft 4K. I don't know if that's what I meant. Minicraft. Oh, okay. Minicraft in 48 hours? See, these guys corrected me. Oh, hang on. For the Ludum Dare, he made a very crude game called Minecraft. Weird. You guys can debate it later. Interesting. So it says, clarifying, Ludum Dare isn't every weekend. Minecraft wasn't written in 48 hours. Notch just happened to write Minicraft in 48 hours for this Ludum Dare. Wow. Well, you guys can debate it in the comment thread. I'm sure you will. Bottom line, it sounds cool. Okay, so I think we have a little more time here. We're rounding out about an hour. I got a couple of questions. I'm not going to CES. I have no sponsors. Did a video on that. Give me a second. You guys, feel free to ask questions at this point in the video broadcast. We may take a couple of them and record separate videos on. As I mentioned at the beginning of this live YouTube broadcast, the specific clip is out of the longer episode, which you could watch in its entirety here in the YouTube channel through one of the annotations, theoretically. I did my first live Google Plus broadcast, and Google Plus has had Hangouts for a while. They've now enabled certain producers to broadcast their Hangouts live. And this is nice because instead of having to join the Hangout to watch the Hangout, you can now watch it, and I can invite certain people into it. Broadcasted Hangouts cannot be made to be open to invite all the public. The public can watch them. It's just the public can't be invited to join them directly. That would just be related or relegated to my circles. Hi, Wiki. Sorry, my dog Wicket's down here. He actually wanted to hang out last night. I don't know if you guys caught my, sorry for flashing dog parts at you there. Last night on my Google Plus profile, I was trying to hang out from the iPhone, speaking of, and I took a snapshot of it because I couldn't join any Hangouts from the iPhone. I was kind of disappointed. But I can now broadcast Hangouts. I recorded my Hangout and put it on the YouTube channel if you want to watch it and actually learn about the future of Hangouts. I talked with Chi Chu, one of the lead developers of Hangouts. It was actually, I would say, a lot of fun. So in relation to Hangouts, I was, because typically a Google Plus Hangout is limited, without being broadcast to everybody, is limited to, 10 people or so? Really not a lot of people, those in your social circle. And I noticed that one guy, I think it was Mike Searle, he shared a screenshot of his Hangout. It's a private Hangout between himself and like 9 other people, so 10 people total. And he was streaming Goonies, the movie, The Goonies, onto his Hangout for just 10 people. So only 10 people could see this. And I commented and I said, isn't that slightly illegal? And then we kind of had this philosophical debate. And then he brought up a couple points, and I think he's right. So he's got a Hangout with 10 people, or 10 people total, and they're watching a movie on one screen. Just one person's screen. What's the difference between streaming a movie that way to 10 people, 10 of your friends, or streaming a movie directly from a DVD player or a DVR up onto a TV set with those same people in the same room? What's the difference? Other than physical location of those people, what is the difference? If it's private and it's just for your friends, there's no difference between streaming it through an HDMI cable, through a wireless internet connection, or over some other kind of chatting service. He could have used group chat on Skype and done the same thing, or any kind of group video chat and done the same thing. So I don't know if what he did was all that illegal. He was sharing something, a piece of content that he wasn't necessarily broadcasting. He was just kind of sharing it with 10 friends, just like he would if those 10 friends or 9 friends or however many handful of friends were in the same room. He wasn't broadcasting out to the general internet. It poses a very interesting question. So it's not that the technology isn't possible. It's that the way that we think about delivery mediums kind of needs to evolve. And it's not so much us. I think it's the content publishing industry at large, big media, as they've been called. I thought you had a license to show a copyrighted film to an audience. X Hayden says, yeah, that's the thing. I thought, I didn't think that was right to do, rebroadcasting. But if you are watching a movie with a friend and you're sharing it over an internet connection, what's the difference between sharing that same movie experience in a theater or in front of a television set? We do it all the freaking time. Fundamentally, you're doing the same thing. Fundamentally, if you're limiting the amount of people who are watching it at any given time. But, it's not the medium really anymore. It's the message. What's the difference between 9 people virtually and 9 people in the same room? As far as I'm concerned, it's nothing. But I'm not the big media that you need to convince where this is a problem. You know what? I think you have bigger problems if nobody wants to watch the stuff that you're doing. That's me. That's just me. What do I think about the new Facebook timeline? I've already talked about it. Thanks. I'm not going to repeat answers to questions. At least not every day. I can only do it once a day, and then I get tired of it. Thank you for the likes. The 178 likes. Yay. If you had music playing in the background of a group chat. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I keep my stream muted when I'm listening to music, and that's a lot. So I have to keep my normal live stream at live.pirillo.com on complete mute, because otherwise I'd be unmute, mute, unmute, mute, unmute, mute, and it'd be every other minute, and it would just be a pain in the neck. And it is a pain in the neck, generally speaking. I wish it was better, but I don't have a license to play that content, or I'd have to spend a lot of money, and I need to find a big sponsor to do that, because then essentially I'm turning into a radio station. How much is Nomi's going to cost? Will it be yearly, monthly, lifetime subscription model, for instance, business and personal? We'll probably have I don't know if we've necessarily thought about business and personal. I think it's all just going to be lumped into one. It's going to be an annual subscription, though. I don't think we're going to mess around with monthly or lifetime. I think annual subscription is going to be just fine, because it'll grow in value and change in time. We're probably targeting, at the beginning, it's probably going to be at $100 a year. And I realized, whoa, that's a lot, but we're going to be doing a lot with it. I don't have the details, and I don't even know if that's the final pricing, but a lot of it's going to be, I'll be doing Google Plus Hangouts with Nomis. That's going to be one value. We'll also have special content, so I'll start doing vlogs and other special content that only Nomis are going to have access to. I'll be answering questions in a public forum that Nomis will have access to, and really kind of making it interpersonal. So instead of spending this much money on, let's say, consulting services and all that stuff, you'd actually be spending this much. That again is a total beta price. I don't know if what it's going to be, but that's kind of what we're thinking about at this point in time. Don't know if that's the right way to do it, but the idea is that I want to do more interactions with Nomis, and the easy way to know who are the good Nomis or the bad Nomis is typically, well, who's willing to join this community and who's not. And that really separates the wheat from the chaff. And then most likely with some of those Google Plus broadcasts, in the Hangouts, I'll have the Hangout pulled up behind me. And then so people who are in the Hangout will kind of be the peanut gallery. So as I'm doing these videos, you can be watching the broadcast over there or here. And so you can actually be potentially part of the videos that we do on YouTube on a regular basis by becoming a Nomi. And I think that's going to be the biggest value of being a Nomi. I'm not pulling his skin off. That's New Blue Geek says I'm not. Wiki is a boy, and it's Wiki. I don't know how you spell Wiki, but it's short for Wicket. How do you become a Nomi again? We have not announced where yet. But the biggest value that we can figure is by providing more personal content, answering more questions on a regular private forum, and then integrating and really interacting. Because I want to do these Hangouts on Google+, but I can't open it up to everybody. See, in Balance by Design, yes, 1 hour of consulting can easily be $100. So I'm basically giving you a year's worth of my time for $100. Like, it's insane. Like, the value of it is insane. I want to be a Nomi, hope I can afford it. I hope you can too. We're doing our best to find a good sweet spot, but I haven't talked about it yet. This isn't an official video about it. I'll be making the announcement when it is ready. But again, the idea is bringing more Nomis into the content that we're doing and elevating them above people who are just subscribers to become a Nomi. It's kind of like a bonus. We're going to give bonuses, like special discounts that we find, letting you know about things that we don't let other people know about, really giving you almost, I'm not going to say unadulterated access to me, but that's pretty much what it is, because my time's worth so much and I can only spread it so, I get spread so thin, I have to make sure I can get done what I need to get done. So that's the idea behind it, and we'll have a lot of value adds. I think the Google Plus Hangouts are probably going to be the biggest, I think it's the biggest pro point to being a Nomi, is when I do the Google Plus Hangouts, just inviting the Nomis circle to join. That's the only way you can join a Hangout, is by being a Nomi. And that's the way I think that's the way we're going to do it. Everybody can watch, but the only way to participate directly is to become a Nomi. I think that's a good idea. Maybe I'm crazy. I probably am. Who knows? All right. Let's see here. I know a really good iPhone game that was made 72 hours called Project 72, said Apple Advice. That's kind of neat. Will you provide the same free content? Asked 912 Doctor Who. Oh, yeah, most likely. Axe Sweetheart says, I really admire you, Chris. Well, thank you. 300 likes, we get a Hangout. Yes, Lisa, 300, but your guys are not even at 200, so I don't think you're getting a Hangout today. Good. You can try. You really can. So let me talk about a product that I bought this weekend. Or actually, I bought it the other weekend. I need electricity. I'm here to admit it. I don't think that's going to come to a shock to anybody. And I'm also a huge fan of bargains. So I discovered that Belkin was selling one of their surge protectors, their mini surge protector for like $10 or $12 on Amazon. And I bought it. It was easy to do. If you want to get it, you can too at go.tagjag.com/Belkin Mini. They didn't send this to me. I bought it with my own money, and I'm telling you, this is awesome, and I can show you why. Okay, look. Oh, yeah, 3 new outlets. Oh, but it's more than that. Look at what's on top. 2 USB adapters. If you want to add USB to an outlet without necessarily losing an outlet, this is the best way to do it. You can extend it, okay? So I love the fact that now I'm getting rid of one, so I'm really just adding 2. I'm adding 2 because I've already had that one in place if I'm using one outlet. And then, as a bonus, 2 USB ports. I love it. I wouldn't do that when it was actually plugged in. That would be kind of dangerous. Another thing, you want to talk about attention to detail. Another reason why I love this and will likely be buying more. You might buy one too. Hopefully you don't buy them out. The back part, you're looking at that and you're thinking, wait a minute, what if my socket isn't oriented this way? I don't want to orient the adapter this way. You can hold on to this button and twist. It's a little hard and you don't make it supremely easy, but you can twist this around so that it can fit in a variety of directions to basically work the way you need it to work. So this is not just static. This part can swivel around so that the actual accessory can be positioned in pretty much any direction, and I love that attention to detail. How can you add? People are freaking out. It's not just about getting an adapter for USB ports. Those have been seen, right? You want to add more outlets and USB without necessarily having to rewire anything or connect something new. This is good enough. And the fact that it allows you to swivel, that means that I can place this accessory in just one of the outlets and leaving the other one exposed. Because see, if it was dangling down at the top or the bottom, then I couldn't connect the USB as easily. In this configuration on the side, I should be able to accommodate the outlets that I have. Well, because mine are in a vertical orientation, some outlets are in a horizontal orientation. But I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. And it's a surge protector, too. You want to add USB outlets to another outlet without losing the outlet or the value of the outlet. It's a nice way to go. And it's cheap. It's currently on sale for right around 10 or 12 bucks. Again, the link that I set up for you is go.tagjag.com/Belkin Mini. And I love it. That is an endorsement. Not paid for by anybody except for myself since I bought the product. I do buy products every once in a while. I probably could have asked for it and they would have sent it too. Can you use that as an iPhone wall charger? Yeah, it's a USB port, dude. Yeah. Where's like button? Like button is the thumbs up. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Book a movie. Do we have any other questions before I wrap it up? I'm gonna give time for one more question. I think I'm gonna hold off on it. Why is this not? I guess I'm out of lead. It's not really lead. They don't even put lead in pencils anymore. It's graphite. They put graphite in pencils. Although I tricked my brother when I was a kid into believing that when he stabbed himself with a pencil, he had lead poisoning. It's really graphite. See if any other questions. Do you know of any good online volunteering opportunities? Depends on what you want to volunteer for. You can answer questions on lockergnome.net. That's a great volunteer position. Not all USB ports charge the iPad. That's true. It has to be the right amperage. This one, let's see here. I haven't tried the iPad on here yet. You guys want me to find out? All right, come up with good questions. Before I close out the live video feed here, let's see. I'll answer that question. But come up with a good question that I can answer in a separate video, and we'll make that the last video of the day as I get up to go get my iPad. Where the heck did I put that thing? Oh, it's in the bedroom. I won't be able to get after I got up, I realized I'm not going to be able to get the iPad because I'm going to have to de-mic myself and all that stuff. So I'll have to answer that question at another time. Let's see here. What's the best job on the internet? Best is relative. Is now the time to buy a flash drive? There's always the right time, especially, well, during holiday sales. Chris, do a Lego video. About what? I don't really... I have things assembled, but what Lego video would I do right now? Maybe... I think we're working on an article for tomorrow, though. So I may be doing a Lego video tomorrow or at some point in the very near future. Can you please do a Lego live event? Asks Lego Connection. I might do that. I don't know what it would be though, because putting together Lego, it can be kind of boring if you're not the one putting it together. So unless we really have dynamic engagement, the live Lego videos that I've done in the past didn't track all that well for the live audience. Let's see here. Any other questions? Where can I buy your cup? Gear.Pirillo.com. Money with blogs. Kind of talked about it last week. What website do you recommend for web hosting? Go.tagjag.com/liquidweb. These are not, they're good questions, but not really good questions to make, good videos on. Are your acid levels better recently? They seem to be okay. I've tried to decrease the amount of coffee that I'm drinking, specifically espresso. Where do you see us 50 years from now? Hopefully in a better place. Use decide.com to know when it's best time to buy. That's right, iHydra. You remember, they were a good sponsor. They were really a good sponsor. If you like that, by the way, tell decide.com that you like the fact that they sponsor our stuff. Chris, do you like David DeFranco's videos? Are you kidding? I can't stand getting through a day without watching his videos. Where's Diana? She is shopping for a Christmas present for me, she says. What Apple apps have you found this? Should I do an app of the day? Is that how you guys want me to round out this live show? I'm sorry, guys. This is why we do these live broadcasts. You can dictate what happens during these live broadcasts as much as anybody can. Let me see here what I've found that I have enjoyed. There's a couple of new free ones that have been fun. I don't know if I've done this one. Choose a font, create a new font. Have I done this one? Okay, let's try this one. I am always on the lookout for great new applications, software, services, websites, apps, whatever. And I love them. Chris@Pirillo.com is my email address. I share some of them with the greater part of the community on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and beyond sometimes. And we got to the end of today's broadcast here, the live broadcast, and people asked, well, can you do an app of the day? I'm like, okay, sure. I think I found a couple this weekend, or at least one that I wanted to talk about. It's called My Real Font. It was free at the time that I saw it in the App Store. And with My Real Font, you can create your own font on the iPhone. So I can draw the letter B. That was a horrible letter B that I drew there. See here, and go back. Let me go back to A. A. There I drew A. I go to lowercase a, and I swipe. There's B I did horribly. Let's see here. C, D. And see, when I'm done with everything, what I can do is actually compose the message in the font that I wrote. So let's just call it stupid. Stupid. I don't think the app is stupid. I just did a stupid job at doing that. And then I can select that font and press the gift message. And what will happen is it'll give me more options that I can add it to, I can create messages and then send people those messages in the font that I drew, although it looks like the internet connection's not working as well as I would like it to right now. And I can annotate the message. Of course, there's the font that I could use, and I can send as an SMS. I can email it. I can even send the font from within the application itself. So you can draw your own font and then send it to yourself. If you always wanted your own font in your own handwriting, you'd scribble it out on the iPhone or iPad potentially, and then mail it to yourself, and then in computer, running Mac OS 10, Linux, Windows, doesn't matter. You can install a font. The font should be compatible with it, at least that I know of. So you can make that font whatever you can make it a font of nothing but smiley faces, if that's what you want to do. It is the only that I know of. Well, no, there may be a few out there, but it's certainly about the easiest font creator that I've found on iOS. Someone just asked, Nason DeSalva asked, what is your favorite font, like ever, lol? What would my favorite font be? I don't know if I've ever had a favorite font. It's kind of changed over time. I always like the IntelliVised font. We've used that in old TLDR episodes. I may use that on the splash screen on the Locker Gnome YouTube channel too. Either way. Yeah, what was everybody's favorite font? I think this is a cool app. If you want to try it, I think it may still be free, but if it's no longer free, I apologize. I'll dredge up a link for you, put it in the description, and we'll call it go.tagjag.com/myrealfont. The key is you should be following me on social media because sometimes I tweet about these things as soon as I find out they're free and I think that they're awesome. But I'm very, very happy to have done the video. Thank you to whoever asked me to do the App of the Day video at the tail end of today's huge, long TLDR broadcast, which, of course, you can watch in its entirety if you're not already watching it in its entirety at this very moment. You just may be watching a segment of something that was much bigger. There you go. Even though I did a horrible job. I did a horrible job at that. Okay, the font looked really bad, but did I do an okay demo? Was the demo fine for a last-minute thing and not prepping for anything? Hopefully you think it was fine. And even if you don't, that's the end of today's broadcast. Love the fact that you guys hung out with me live, and I love the fact that you possibly have watched this video after it was live. It's difficult to know sometimes whether something is live or not. You know, if it says live up in the upper right-hand corner of the video, then it was live. If it doesn't say that, then this wasn't live for you. It's weird to talk about things that aren't live, that are no longer live. Not really stalling for any reason. I'm just babbling. QR code stats, Chris Daisy 100 asks. All right, let's check during the live broadcast. We have... Hang on, let me check 2 hours. iPhone trumped Android users. iPhone won today. So congratulations, iPhone users. There are more of you in the audience than Android users, at least according to the statistics driven through the use of this QR code that you guys may have scanned, or you may not have scanned. If you didn't scan it, then you weren't a part of the statistic. Can't do a Hangout today. Only have 208 likes, which I'm appreciative of. I appreciate every video that you like, every video that you share, every video that every Locker Gnome link that you share or retweet, like, whatever you do. When we publish something on Locker Gnome, anything, whether it's a video, a blog post, or whatever, when you share that, it means so much to us. You guys don't understand. We're not doing it because we're just doing it. We're doing it because we hope that it resonates. If you like something that we do, like it, share it, +1 it, everything. You don't have to, I'm only going to just like it. No, you can share it everywhere. You should. We want to see those statistics drive up. We need to know if you like the stuff that we do. And just passively watching or reading, I hate to say it, it's not enough. I mean, it really isn't, because we can't tell. We don't know if you read it. We know you may have visited a page, but did you really read it? We know you read it when you share it, when you +1 it, when you like it, when you embed it, when you link to it. It's so good for us to know that what we're doing means something to you. And that's the easiest way for you to better engage us, is to share it forward. So if you like this video, which hopefully you did, today's keyword is... And I ask you to type in this keyword because that's how I know those of you who weren't watching live made it this far. Gaffer. 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 That's the keyword. So if you made it this far in the recorded TLDR episode, use the keyword gaffer in a comment, and then I'll know that you made it this far. And as I said, we really appreciate the likes, the shares, the loves, really, is what we have for you. We have the loves. And I keep looking down because I'm tripping. You guys, I've got this mic and apparently a gas problem. This microphone here, and I'm tethered to it, so I can't go too far from here. So yeah, I'm gonna stop saying so for the moment. You know where to find me on Google+, Facebook. The Chris Pirillo there. Twitter, of course, lockergnome.com, chris.pirillo.com. Subscribe to the email newsletter. I started the video that way. I'm going to end it that way. We're giving away that digital camera from Sony. We're giving away a Sony laptop this month as well. We're giving away those Kindle Fires. God, I talked about 4 giveaways today in just one video. Video? Okay, you know it's time to stop the video when I start saying video. What the hell's a video? I think it actually sounds like a good word. Someone needs to define that. Maybe that's the new word. video. Okay, I'm done. Really, I am. Got a live video feed going on, but certainly there's a chat room where people are geeking out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.